I'm Dylan, and welcome to Twisted Rich Garage. What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. This week, we're actually going to be working on my mom's car. This was the car I was talking about that my grandma gave to her. It was her car before, obviously. It had a little bit of a front-end accident. Apparently, she hit a curb at some point in time on the passenger front side, and she supposedly had it fixed. I'm not quite sure what all they did to it to fix it, what all they replaced, those kind of things. So we're definitely gonna have to, kind of look at everything as we go, when we're pulling it apart, kind of give everything visual inspections, the good run through and such, figure out what's causing our shake, which definitely could be the brakes. The brake rotors could be warped, they could need turned, or they could need replaced, new brake pads. Could be something else. I heard some clicking whenever it was shaking. I've driven it down the block a couple times. I drove it around the neighborhood, and the way I can describe it to you guys is you slowly hit on a brake, it doesn't do anything at all. Doesn't shake, doesn't make any noise. But if you hit it like you're normally braking, it starts to shake, and then you hear a clicking sound, which I think personally is the steering rack. But we'll have to, inspect that further when we get, deep down in there, because changing that is a big job. That requires us to pull basically the whole front end of this car apart, and we have to actually undo the engine from the motor mounts and lift the engine up some to be able to get it out. I believe it only comes out on one side, but I could be wrong. I've never actually done it on this car before, so it'll be a learning experience for me. I got my oldest, he's going to come out here and give me a hand here shortly. First things first, we gotta disconnect the battery. Let's get this hood popped and get it open, and we'll see about getting these wheels and tires off. I did get the hood already popped. Let's get this popped up here. Now this is I think it's a 2006, and I'll verify that. I believe it's a 2006. Is this gonna stay? No, it's not gonna stay. So we're gonna need a hood prop to hold this open for us. We don't really need to work in here a whole lot. We just really need to get the battery disconnected. This car's got more things wrong with it than just that. I saw the check engine light was on. I think the ADS light was on, but that could just be a sensor or a wire that's unhooked. You never really know. Because this has had front brakes put on it at some point in its life, but I don't know who did them. So we'll definitely look at all of that. So see if we can get ourselves a hood prop here, because I'd rather not get bashed in the head by this hood, and there's really no reason to pull it off. So let me get that taken care of. All right, I got an old jack handle from one of my smaller jacks. See if we can make this work for us for now. Just get it in a spot where it's not gonna fall and hit us. That's the key. No. All right, I think that'll do. Okay, here we go. This is where the battery is over here. No, that's just fuses, which I thought kind of look like. Where's the battery in this thing? Is it? Oh, I wonder if this is one of those ones where the battery's like in the fender well or in the trunk or something. Let me look that up. Let me see if I can figure out where that's at. Turns out it's a 2008. Battery is located behind the driver rear fender well, apparently. So I went ahead and disconnected that. And if you do close the trunk, you can put down the centerpiece down there. And then there's a little piece right there. You just give that a yank and it'll pop the trunk for you. We got both wheels off. Over here on the passenger side, because I'm pretty sure that's where the sound was coming from. The vibration, I think, probably coming from the brakes. But the sound, I think it's coming from this. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but But as I rotate that, you can hear it clicking. So I'm wondering if that tie rod is broken. That is definitely possible. So I'm gonna pop this off. We're gonna get this separated. We're gonna take a deeper look at this. See if we can't try to figure out what the heck is going on. Throw a little loose juice on here. This thing doesn't seem like it's got any aerosol in it. That's basically full. Huh. We should be able to pop this off of here. Yeah, this thing is definitely not been off of here, so I don't know if they replaced that when this thing was hitting the front end. Alright, got it loosened up. I just snugged it down to where the bolt or the nut is basically flush with that. And I'm just going to give this a couple whacks, and it should come free. There it went. Let's get that nut off of there. Set that to the side. Well, it's not making that noise now. Huh. Is it in the end? Yeah, I think it might be in this end. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna go ahead and break this nut free. We're gonna pop this off, but we're gonna count how many turns it takes us to go from this position right here. So we'll just pop it out like that, loosen that, and then we'll turn these, count how many turns. That way when we get our new one on, we can get it kind of close. But it will need to be aligned after you replace this, just to be on the safe side, so you don't tear up your tires. Okay, so bring you guys in here, and I went ahead and I just got this broke free. I went ahead and shoved it back up in its spot and just threaded this in, you know, just a little bit. That way I could put this on here, hold this, and I actually took a hammer and just gave it a couple quick jolts. So now it's actually loose. I'm actually just not going to mess with that one at all. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. I'm going to unthread this and pop that off. And then we should be able to, yeah, there we go. So undo that. So now we can just undo it by hand. So we're going to go half, one, half, two, half, 3, 15, half, 16, 17. So roughly 17 turns to get this on in the roughly the same spot. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and pull off the rotors and the calipers and the brake pads, and we're going to take those up to the parts house, up to O'Reilly's, and let them turn these rotors. I'm pretty sure they're probably thick enough to be turned because they look new enough, but they can check those with a micrometer and make sure whether or not you can turn them. And then when you do turn those, you do need to get new pads, because if you run old pads on the new rotors, you can actually dig grooves into your new pads from the old rotors, or dig grooves into your new rotors from the old pads. So it's always recommended that you replace that when you do the turning or replacing of these rotors. So it'd be a couple bolts to pull those off on this end here. We'll go ahead and get those knocked out. I mean, brakes aren't too hard. There'll be 2 bolts on the back of the caliper. We can pull this off, and we'll actually have to pull this bracket off to be able to get this rotor off. So let's get to work on getting that pulled apart. All right, we got the caliper and the bracket off. You can see the pad's still sitting in there. Just went ahead and pulled the 2 bolts from the bracket that holds it to the spindle back here, and the 2 bolts that pulled the caliper off. Went ahead and pull up those off. Now I've just got to fight trying to get this off. This is going to be the challenge. Sometimes they have a little screw hole or a bolt hole that you can bolt into that'll kind of help you along sometimes, but even when they have those, I'm not a big fan of using those, because I've seen too many times where the rotor is way too stuck to it, and when you screw this into it, it actually breaks the rotor. So we're just gonna go at it little by little. I'm gonna spray some get loose juice in this little rusted area here. Might take a wire wheel to it, and then we'll try to get this all popped free. I got my side all apart. Mikkel is working on the driver's side. He's got it all apart. He's just working on trying to get this rotor off. He's just going around hitting the flat surface with a sledgehammer, trying to get that rust to break free. All right, with some swings of the hammer, that came off pretty decent. Wasn't too bad. We'll take all that to the parts house, get those rotors getting going and getting them turned. See about getting an outer tie rod for that side over there. Then we can get this all slapped back together, see if that's resolved the issue. I don't know, we'll see. So, went up to the parts house, went ahead and just ordered this. They didn't have it in stock. Outer tie rod, they didn't have it. It's all right. We'll get it tomorrow. I went ahead and took a look at the brakes a little bit. Looked at the rotors, looked at the pads, you know, kind of deciding what I wanted to do, whether or not I wanted to take them up to the parts house or not. I think I'm going to decide against it. Well, I did decide against it because I didn't take them with me. They just didn't seem like they were very warped, or the pads looked like they were brand new. They had plenty of life on them. The rotors, they look brand new as well. So, I mean, I don't think there's very many miles on that whole setup. So, I went ahead and just slapped all that back together, put it right back on the car. Got this side done. Mikkel's working on getting this side put back together right now. And then we're going to call it a night for tonight, because we're going to have to wait on that part to come so we can actually put that new part on and then see if that resolves our issues. That way we know, we'll just change that one little thing out. We'll see, if that fixes it. If it doesn't, we'll have to keep doing some, investigating, because we just don't know unless we're looking at it. I mean, from everything that I can tell in there, it looks like all the bushings and stuff seem like they're good and snug, and they don't seem like they've got any kind of big play in them. It just seems like that outer tie rod was definitely bad. That could have been giving us our little bit of a shake that we were experiencing. So we'll get back with you guys tomorrow when we're putting that on the car, and we'll take the car out for a test drive and see if that resolves our issues. We're back on another day of Twisted Wrench Garage, working on this 08 Pontiac G8. It does have the V6, it's not the V8 model. But we did get our part in. Had to have it ordered in yesterday. Came in this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and slap this on. We're going to get all this put back together. Get the wheels thrown on this. We'll take it for a drive. We'll see if that resolved all of our shaking issues. So let's get in there. Let's put this back on. If we remember from yesterday, it's going to be 17 turns. We want to end up about like this. So we're just going to start it. There's our first half. One. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take this in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and there's number 17. So we're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna hold on to this while we snug this down, and we'll be good to put these wheels back on. All right, now that I've got it in its location, I'm just one last step of torquing these wheels to 125 foot-pounds. I just like to always hook up a torque wrench to them and just verify that they're right. So let's get all these vehicles moved around. Let's get this backed out. Let's take it for a drive. ABS light is off, so that wire over there that was disconnected I fixed. That did fix that problem. Looks like the tire pressure system, looks like maybe one of the sensors is bad. All right. Now you definitely want to get it aligned after you do a replacement on a tie rod like this. We're gonna go and see if this resolved our vibration when we brake. Because I don't think it's the brakes. I think it had to do with that tie rod. I thought it was gonna be a much more interesting video, because I thought this had a lot more wrong with it. I thought that the steering rack had a broken tooth or something. So if this resolves the issue, that'll be nice. we might be able to use my mom's money to maybe do a tune-up on this thing or something. Feels like it resolved it, but we're gonna get it out here on the road and see what it does. The steering wheel's still pretty straight. It's a little off, but if I let go of the wheel, yeah, it pulls to the right, so it does need an alignment. Probably needed that before I replaced this outer tie rod. Yeah, it's still shaking. It's only on light braking. If you're just light on them, yeah, see. But if you're hard on them, it doesn't really do it at all. The tie rod was definitely bad, but it was not all of our problem. Yeah, ABS light just came back on again. Stability control off. Why is that off? Interesting. Alright, well, let's take a little deeper look at it. Alright, I've been in here fooling with this side, trying to figure out what exactly is causing our vibration. I still don't think it's the brakes, but we've been fooling with it and we've been wiggling it around. You guys might be able to see that joint right there actually has play in it. So I'm wondering if we also need a lower control arm. It's just a one piece. You can see the movement that it's got in there. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but I can see it here. And that's I'm wondering if that's it. So I'll look that up, see how much that is, and we'll see about getting that ordered. What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another day at Twisted Wrench Garage. We're back out here on this Pontiac G8 again. I did go ahead and get the part ordered. It came in this morning. Went ahead and took a break on it last night. Figured I'd get back on it today. So I've got everything set up, got it all jacked up in the air already. We're gonna go ahead and get to work on getting this lower control arm pulled, because so the ball joint is built into the control arm, and it's just a single rod with a bushing that goes onto the frame. So just really 2 bolts and we should be free to get this thing out of here. Just a couple whacks with a hammer, we should be good. So let's get in here and let's get to work. Here's the lower control arm we're going to be taking out and replacing. Don't have the right size socket for this. I've got, what is this? 13/16. I'm pretty sure this is like a 19 or a 20, or I'm pretty sure it's a 20 actually. 20 or 21. I don't have that size. I don't have a deep socket that size, but this right here should work for me. I'll get this broke free. There's another one right in there we need to break free, and then we'll need to separate this ball joint right here from the spindle, and we should be ready to get this pulled out. So let's get that loosened up, try to get this out of here. I went ahead and used a breakover bar, and I broke this free. I'm just going to use a ratchet to get it the rest of the way out. Get a little juice sprayed on there. Go ahead and spray that one back there. Alright, let's try to get some on this one. Gotta like hold it upside down for this thing to work. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna have to invest in a better set of metrics, because not having the right sizes for some of this stuff definitely stinks, but I'm not normally working on a lot of metric stuff. Usually trying to work on a lot of older stuff. Which my mom asked me to take a look at this car for her, figure out what was going on. I think this thing could use definitely quite a bit more stuff than just these 2 items. Yeah, this is starting to give me some problems not having the right size. Let's see. Can I tap that on there? That might help a little bit. that did the trick. All right. So that is pretty much free. I'm gonna get the nut back out of it and I'm gonna put it back on there. Because we still have to separate the joint. Hey, it came off without pulling the nut. Nice. Okay, so yeah, that'd probably be good. I'm gonna try and just hammer on the side of this spindle to get it to separate. If I can't, I'll tap on this if I have to. And if I have to resort to actually using the right tool, I'll pull out a ball joint separator and we'll do it that way. See if we can't get this separated. Well, not really a good swinging spot. Oh man, all right. I did grab the tool anyways. So let's see if we can get this to work. This will probably do the trick. Flip her over. All right, here we go. It's trying. Yeah, I'm running into that spindle over here. Uh-oh. That is not wanting to come free, is it? There we go, we got it. All right, I went and found an 18 that will fit it here. Break it free. Come on. Come on now. Holy moly. That thing is tight. Probably should get an extension so I can get it out past this so I can get more of a leverage on it. Yeah, give us a little bit longer of a reach. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a bit tight. Okay. Is that welded? I can't tell if that's welded to it or not. Let's see if we can turn this other side. It actually has a hole through this frame rail right here we can get through. If that gets us, we need to go that way. Yeah, this is gonna fight me. Huh. That is stuck. Well, might have to put some heat to it. Get rid of these leaves and stuff. I'll have to sweep the garage out afterwards, but we'll get rid of these leaves. And I'll take my torch to it. I don't have much gas, but maybe we could use our torch on it and get that freed up some. All right, let's see if we can throw some heat on here. We'll do heat, and then we'll do juice, and then we'll try to break it free, and then we'll do heat, juice, heat, juice. See what we can get going on here. Now that doesn't look like it's welded on. Oh, I'm running out of fuel here. Let's save that for now. Let's throw some juice on it. Let's try to break it free. Come on now. Man, that is on there. Didn't apply a big amount of heat because I don't have a whole lot of gas, like I said. Can we get it to break free? Come on now. Okay. So maybe that nut is part of it. It's supposed to be there like that. It's good to know now. That I fought with it a little bit. Ow. Oh man, I think I got it. All right, I think I got it broke free. Holy crap. Woo. That bolt ain't playing. Well, this is definitely gonna take me a minute to get this out. Get it out. Oh, thank gosh. Finally got it free. Look at that, I didn't even have to use the jack, it just kind of came out. That was definitely frozen to that. Oh yeah. This is wore out. I mean, look at that. That's wore out. So, let's grab our new one. All right, we got that all pulled out. Compare it to our other one once we get it out of the box. But that's wore out completely. This end's bushing looks okay, but you have to replace the whole thing. It's not a swappable ball joint, so let me show you what we picked up from the parts out. And here's that lower control arm out of the package. You can clearly see it is the same, roughly the exact same length as well, so we're good there. Took off this black cap that protects the boot, so we'll just throw that aside. This one is greasable, so that can be serviced. That's nice. So I know a lot of places they're getting rid of the grease zerks and making them non-serviceable. So I don't really like that. We definitely want to be able to grease our bushings and such. So let's get this put in the car. All right, we're just repeating the process just backwards, putting this in. So go ahead and pop off the nut from the ball joint. We're just gonna slide that up in there. Well, actually, we need to put this up in here first, huh? And then we should be able to get this in. Gonna take a little maneuvering to get it in here. But I'm just gonna get this nut started, so this will hold this up into the ball joint section, and then I'll get that bolt back there going. I'm actually gonna take a wire brush to these threads in here. There's a lot of crap in there. That's what was causing me so much trouble. So let me clean that up before I throw that in. All right, I got that bolt cleaned up. Now we just gotta get this lined up. There we go. right, that's in. So let's give that a snug back there. Give that one good snug by hand. Make sure that it's nice and tight, and then we'll call that good. Where's my short extension? There it is. All right. All right. See, while that torque, while this, this impact does get it on there nice and quick, it doesn't really torque it down to a whole bunch. So definitely always hit those by hand after you're done. Now this other nut here, that's the last thing we got to get on here. Let's see if I can wiggle my socket on there. This is that one I don't really have the size for it. So I'm making a standard size work because that's what I have. So yeah, that should be good enough. Let's see if we can't use this to tighten it up for the moment. No, that one's the bigger size. Can this go down in there? No. Looks like I'm doing that one by hand. Oh well, I ain't gonna hurt nobody. I'm just snugging up the ball joint nut now. Just need to get that tightened up, and then we can put the wheel back on and go for another test drive. Hopefully this time it will have resolved our problems. Because again, I'm standing by. I don't think there's anything wrong with the brakes. I could still be wrong, because I mean, I'm just a regular guy making my best guess judgments here. And that's, what you guys are gonna be out there doing. So if you guys are working on your cars or whatever, sometimes it can be pretty. I know it can be pretty intimidating to make a call on a part and not exactly know if it's completely gonna fix the problem. But I mean, that's how you learn. Is that tightening up good? Yeah, my socket's popping off. I'm gonna need to tap it on there better. I just don't want to get it stuck. Who knows if any of these other bushings were changed out whenever it was fixed when it got that curb hit. Come on now, am I gonna reach the end at some point? No, because it's turning the whole thing. Why is it doing that? Let's do this little trick. Let's throw this jack underneath this ball joint. We're going to put a little upward pressure on it. And then we'll try tightening it down again. I don't know if that whole thing is turning on me or not. Nope. See, sometimes you can just do that. Just throw a little jack underneath there, put a little tension on this end, and it'll let you tighten it up. There we go. All right, let's get the breaker bar on there so we can get some more leverage on it. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Now the trick is getting this thing back off here. Come on, there we go. All right, it's test drive time. Really hope this solved our problems. That way my mom can have this car. Let's roll this window up for wind noise and such. All right, let's go. So we've got a new outer tie rod and a new lower control arm. I'm almost feeling like it's still gonna do it, because I think there's quite a bit wrong with this front end over here. Quite a bit could be messed up. There could be a bunch of bushings that need all replaced. But we'll take this down the street and back. We'll confirm it on the actual roads. It's still okay, so it's still a little there. I can barely hear it there. I'm curious to see if it resolved our shaking problem. It would be nice to get this car out of the garage, and we can get to some other projects. Pulling is hard to the right now. So I definitely got that partially taken care of. I'm sure once it gets fully aligned, it'll be fully taken care of. But the moment of truth is coming up to this stoplight, figuring out if that fixed our problems. Okay, so it did make it a lot better. It's not near as bad as it was. I'm sure it probably needs more bushings on that side. Like I said, I don't know what all they replaced when they fixed it. Still there, but not as bad. But yeah, the shake is not near as bad as it was. Not near as bad. Bet you it's this side now. Bet you this side's lower control arm is bad too. We'll get it pulled in the garage, we'll find out. We'll get it pulled up in there, we'll jack it up, and we'll give her a shake. Because I don't feel it on the passenger side no more. Now I feel it over here. Well guys, that was an unfortunate fail. Sort of. The passenger side definitely feels way better. I've got it, I jacked both sides up, gave both the shake, up, down, left, right. The passenger side is taken care of. The driver's side, it does have a little shimmy to it, so I think the lower control arm on that side needs to be changed too. I'm gonna double check the outer tie rod on that side too, make sure if it needs replaced or not. I did do some reading on the forums about those Pontiac G8s, and apparently when you do change one, you might as well change both, because apparently they both go bad. So, I mean, that's just part of it. Sometimes you'll win them, and sometimes you won't. But we'll get back on that car. You know, as soon as my mom can come up with the funds for the parts to get replaced, because I mean, you know, that's $180 in parts that we've already spent on it. We got to spend another $180 in parts, and that's not including anything else that may need fixed. I'm pretty sure the car could use a tune-up. I'm pretty sure the sway bar bushings are pretty wore out. But I mean, again, it's all parts that are gonna have to be replaced over time. We got some stuff done to it. We resolved sort of the problem, but hopefully within the next one we can actually get it taken care of. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll check you guys out on the next episode.